Do you know what beef is? Do you know what beef is? Ask yourself. Do you know what beef is? Come
on. Welcome back to the happy hour.
Back. Episode 5.
If you haven't seen 1 through 4, there will be a final exam. We're expecting you to go back and watch 1 through 4.
The final's coming up.
It was on the syllabus. I don't know what you're doing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This episode is about fighting fair. Someone reached out and asked us that question.
Someone.
No names shall be named, as far as I'm concerned.
I drop names like a young 50.
And I appreciate the questions being asked. So please keep them coming our way. Send them in, email, post it on Facebook. You can text us if you know our numbers.
Don't text me.
If you don't know our numbers, sorry. I
am not. The podcast has its own email address. It's on Facebook. It's on, what else? Blogspot or Blogger. And it's getting a Twitter page. Do not text me about this podcast. I'm not going to respond to it.
I will. Anyways, we're up to episode 5. We are talking about fighting fair in your relationship.
Y'all going to learn today.
We are starting out with our own personal scenario today.
Why you always gonna put me on the streets? All my business is
it's not just your business. We both miss each other's expectations, which we did talk about expectations in episode 1.
See, it's all gonna be on the final.
I will point out that this is different. If someone says they're going to do something, you expect it to be done.
Yeah, that's different than having your own
in your head.
You should read my mind and know I want that done because
and you should
I did
do
it one time that you saw.
Because that's how I feel like you should be. Expectations. So very different. Than holding someone accountable to something that they said they would do.
Yeah. And
that is all too often the cause of
beef.
Yeah, yep. Facts.
It's not even at your front door. It's inside your living room.
It is.
In your bedroom.
It's living in your home.
It's in your kitchen.
Facts.
Both beefs. Huh. I did that.
You did. So scenario. I mean, we don't have kids yet, but
no. Coming soon.
Let's say you come home from a hard day at work.
Mm-hmm.
Either party.
Mm-hmm.
Dishes.
I mean, how many hours did I work? Did I do like a part-time shift? Or did I do like a full 8?
Full day. 8 or 12 hours, right?
Okay.
Worked a full day.
It's a full day, all right.
It's Wednesday. It's hump day.
I kind of like Wednesday. I'm not going to lie.
Wednesdays are good, but you still have 2 more days in your work week.
Yeah, but 2 days is better than 4 more.
All right, fine. It's Tuesday.
I hate Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. You come home. You went to the grocery store after work because you were going to come home and cook dishes, cook dinner.
All right, what am I making?
You are making pork chops.
With?
I don't know. Vegetables. Brussels sprouts.
Ooh, got you with the butter bacon Brussels sprouts. Ooh, I was ready to come home and cook.
Home and cook. But you come home,
mm-hmm.
and the sink is full of dishes. I mean, like, you can't even work.
Do I have enough to, like, cook still, or do I gotta wash?
Nope, you don't have enough to cook.
Oh, man.
You come home, the sink is full of dishes, the stove's a mess, kids are running around.
What you was doing?
Homework's not done. It's like 7 p.m., so it's almost bedtime. Everyone, for the kids!
All right, Grandma.
For the kids.
Uh-huh.
It's 7 p.m. Haven't started dinner. You asked me to take the pork chops out. They're still in the freezer. I
can't even get my pork chops.
They're still in the freezer. And I'm sitting on the couch. I was off today.
Okay.
I had a day off today.
Okay.
I'm sitting on the couch watching How to Get Away with Murder.
That show should have ended like 4 seasons ago.
And the kids are running around. And I look at you and I go, hey, baby, how was your day?
Do I see the kitchen yet? Because the way our house is set up,
You see it as soon as you can see it.
Nah, you can't. You can't see the sink from the front door. So you walk in the front door.
So maybe you don't see it yet. Maybe you don't see it yet. You see everything else. House is a mess. Kids are running around. Homework bags are just sitting there, so you know homework hasn't been done. Nothing's unpacked.
Yeah.
I'm on the couch.
I mean, I feel like it was your day off.
It's my day off.
It was your day off, man.
Oh, he's so gracious, yo.
Especially if you greet me with the hey baby at the door, son. I'm a sucker for the hey baby at the door.
Oh,
son.
y'all, he's so gracious and sweet. All right,
Man.
scenario flipped.
All right, flipping it.
I'm not that gracious and sweet.
Yeah.
And realistically speaking, y'all don't front. Most of y'all are not that gracious and sweet.
I know some people that's sweet.
So you get to the kitchen, baby.
Yeah.
Now what?
I'm gonna want what I need to make dinner, because clearly I got a plan in mind with these Brussels sprouts and the bacon and the butter. So I'm ready.
Let's talk about like the 90% of the population, because apparently you and your friends are the exceptional rare ones.
It's impossible for all my friends to be the exception. That's not how stats
You know what?
work.
Matter of fact, in the comments after this, y'all, I would love for y'all to post whether or not that's beef, or if you would be like,
Yeah, let me know. 'Cause maybe I'm in a delusional world.
day off.
My people, they be like,
Aw.
we can clean up later.
Post for me, because I really need to understand this, because he loves to tell me this, that him and his friends would be like,
I don't
it's
just tell her.
fine.
She's seen it, and she'll say, all right. That's what she says. It's you and your friends, because me and my friends are pretty much the same people in different bodies.
And not all his friends, because I could name like 3 right now off the top of my head who not that gracious.
Name them.
I'm not naming names.
Name
We
them.
already said that.
I'm looking at them.
They know who they are. Your friends who would not be that gracious, they know who they are, okay?
Yeah, I know a couple of them right off the top. Mm-hmm. Looking at you, Ert.
Okay, because that's who came to my mind. Alright? I love you.
I hear the Guyanese voice stirring up right there.
I love you.
I hear it.
But you're not going to be on
I
some.
hear it.
Oh, hey, baby. It's a day off. I'm going to just go wash these
I hear
dishes.
it.
That's not happening.
Now, Irk, if I'm wrong, put it in the comments.
Anyways, that being said, what happens next? What happens next?
For you, if you walk in and I was home and the kids is just running amok,
Like freeze frame.
off top,
Frame.
I already know the first question is, what happened? That's the first question. And it's a setup question, and it's a trap, so I don't answer it. I never answer that question. What happened? Huh? What?
Oh, so you be
What do
playing
you
when you
mean?
hit me with the huh?
No, the huh? What do you mean?
Oh, you be playing.
No, you be playing.
Noted.
You be playing when you ask what
Duly
happened.
noted. Duly noted. Podcast is bringing out all kinds of stuff, y'all.
That's
The
a
point
fact.
is, that's usually a fight, right?
It's always a fight.
Not the what happened, bruh. Come on.
No, not the what happened.
Oh.
The
missed expectation.
yeah.
You said you were going to do something. That thing is not done. And I'm depending on you to do that thing to do my thing.
Yeah.
That's a fight, usually.
Yeah, it will be. There's no usually. That will be a fight.
So when we got this question, one of the things that came to my mind, and he could tell you what first came to his mind, but it was like, if I really consider us to be a team, should I be fighting with my teammate?
That's not gonna work out.
I think about sports, just from a sports perspective.
Yeah, you're not gonna win.
Should you fight your teammate? Or should y'all be so tight and bound together that you're looking to fight everyone else? Because when I think about fighting, and if any of y'all who are watching this are from any kind of hood where you had to fight, When you fight, you looking to win.
Yes.
This is no coming to no peaceful resolution.
We don't take it lightly.
I'm gonna fight you, and one of us is coming out the victor.
Yeah, somebody gonna lose.
Someone's losing.
It ain't gonna be me.
And that should not be how you approach your
It shouldn't.
team, your relationship.
That's not how teams thrive.
That's not how teams get rings.
It's not. If you don't got a ring yet, maybe you need a new team.
I see what you did there. What
Yeah,
came to your mind? with
For
this
me,
question?
fighting fair, off top, first thing that pops in my head when I hear fighting fair is 50 Cent. I don't fight fair. I'm dirty. I'm Southside Jamaica, Queens. You heard me. But that's kind of how we grew up, like me and my peoples. It was pretty pointless fighting us because if you fight one of us, you fighting everybody. So it was like a rule that there was no fair ones. So if you're fighting one guy that I'm cool with, you're probably fighting like 15 people. Because all it takes is for you to hit them one time and we jumping in. You ain't gonna have no real fight. There's gonna be a brawl.
So, what I'm hearing you say is you and your team approached your fights the way people in relationships pretty much should approach fighting, right? It should be a team and it should be us against any outside influences looking to break this team up or looking to injure one of us.
Absolutely. It's the complete concern for that teammate, and everything else outside, that's the enemy. What's inside, that's what you're protecting. Outside, you can fight that. And you should fight that together.
So I hear that and I love that, and that is such an ideal to strive towards. But what's happening when expectations are missed?
It's kind of like, well, I play basketball, so I'm gonna use basketball analogy. If we on a team and we're playing defense, right?
Yep.
And the biggest dude on the other team keeps coming and setting a hard screen on me, and you ain't saying nothing. You just watching it happen. You ain't saying, watch the pick on your right, watch the pick on your left. You just letting it happen. I keep running into this brick wall. I'm gonna get mad at you. We gonna talk about that. I'm gonna call timeout myself. I'm like, whatever, coach. I'm calling timeout. I don't know what this guy's doing, but clearly he don't want us to win.
But you looking to fight him? What are you looking to do? Well, first of all, how are you feeling? Because I think that
I'm hurt physically and mentally.
That's the first start, right? Like, I walk through the door, my expectations are missed. There's a reason I even feel like fighting. What's that reason?
Well, it's like a lack of, it's a lack of like priority. Me putting you as priority as to everything else that's going on, but putting the things that you want done as a priority to me means that whatever you need done, I'm gonna see to it that it gets done because I know that it means something to you. If I say I'm gonna do 10 things, I'm gonna try to do those 10 things. I'm gonna at least get 8 done by the time you get back. And I'm gonna be working on the last 2. I ain't just gonna be chilling.
So if we take this basketball analogy, you'd be upset because your expectation is your teammate protects you, your teammate helps you win. And if you're in a relationship and you know it takes this list of things to help us win, whether win means be organized, meet our goals, meet our priorities, shoot, just have dinner tonight, right? It takes this list of things to get to that space. And so you're going to do whatever you need to do in order to make sure that this team can accomplish its goals, be it daily goals or weekly goals or long-term goals.
Yeah.
And when you don't, I feel like, well, I'm playing on this team by myself. What am I really doing here?
Yeah.
So I think for me, the first thing I would have to do in that scenario, for me, I have to walk away, right? I think you have to understand how your mate communicates.
Yeah. That's important.
and what your mate needs, right? I know that in that moment, if I'm extending grace, which we talk about all the time, if I'm extending grace to my mate, and I know that his main priority is to, if I really believe that he cares about and loves me and wants our team to win, then I really shouldn't be upset at the missed expectation. I should feel my hurt. I should honor my feelings. Now, I'm never going to tell anybody out there, do not honor what you feel in that moment.
Yeah.
Because that's important.
Yeah.
Honor what you're feeling. It's legitimate.
Yeah.
But take it and hold it for a second. Sit with it for a second. Wrestle with it for a second.
Yeah, you gotta weigh it and figure out what that feeling is coming from.
Where's it coming from? What am I really upset about today? Did my boss, my employees, my students, whatever, really tick me off to the point where I have zero reserve left to give grace here in this situation? I'm going to go take a time out. I'm going to say, good afternoon, babe. Give you a kiss. I'm going to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom, breathe, meditate for 60 seconds, 3 minutes. There's some quick meditations out there. But really honor what I'm feeling and then say, okay, I don't know how to get this done tonight, right? Like, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Without you doing your part, or if the table was turned without me doing my part, we can't accomplish our goal tonight.
Yeah.
And what I'm really frustrated about is that I don't know how to accomplish what I need to accomplish tonight. That's the real thing I'm angry about right now, right? And figuring that out is the most important thing, I think.
Yeah. Getting to the goal.
Getting to the goal. Now I can come back and say, how was your day? Was it good? You had a great day off? I am so happy. I think we talked about this a little bit before. You mentioned that you were going to do these things for me, so I really came home with the expectation that I would be able to hop right in the kitchen and get dinner prepared for us. But now I feel like I have to also complete homework, wash dishes first, and do all these other things before I can get to this goal of making dinner for our family. Yeah. And I'm not really sure what to do right now. Let's talk about it. Let's be honest. It doesn't have to be fighting, screaming. But just say, I can't get to my goal because I thought you were going to help me get to my goal, and I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, that's true.
And wait for a response. Maybe there's a legitimate one. Yeah. Maybe the baby was sick until 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody was crying. Maybe he twisted his ankle that day.
Yeah, you never know what happens.
You don't know what happens. And maybe, in all our humanness, we just forgot.
That happened.
And can we still get to our goal tonight?
Probably.
Maybe we just order takeout.
Or maybe you just work together to get it done.
Maybe you work together to get it done. Maybe you come in the kitchen and start washing dishes while I go help them. Maybe you say, you know what, I got dinner. Mm-hmm. Just do me a favor and help the kids with their homework. I'm so sorry I didn't do my part. I'll take care of dinner. I got it. I will get them fed first. We're going to eat a little later. I'm sorry your dinner's going to be a little late. I got it.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a way to approach this with grace, right? And step one is figuring out, why are you really angry? Mm-hmm. Why are you really upset? Why do you really feel like fighting? And how can you communicate what it is that you really are feeling? I can't get to my goal without damaging your teammate.
Yeah. Because you damage your teammate, you're a weaker team. And how you expect to win at that point when first of all, you're not in a good place, so you weakened. And then you weaken your teammate, and now they're weakened, so both of y'all are weakened at that point. You're going to get blown out.
Weekend. Sorry. Point well taken.
Yeah. Also, because fighting, we're reiterating that fighting is not, it shouldn't take place inside the relationship. But there's some things y'all doing that are abusive, and I don't think anybody is pointing it out to y'all being abusive without y'all realizing y'all being abusive. There's never a reason to yell at your partner.
We ain't children. And you shouldn't be yelling at children either, really, but that's, I'm not going to get into people's parenting styles. I'm not a parent. That's fine. But yelling is honestly just...
You ain't got no self-control if you're yelling.
Why are you yelling?
There's no reason to yell. I don't like yelling. You yell at me, that means you want to fight. Off top.
It was actually one of the first things I said to him when we started dating.
Yeah.
I said, we could date, but the minute you yell at me,
Out.
I'm done. There's a few things that just are non-negotiables for me. Yelling at me puts me in a place of like PTSD. I black. Don't do it.
And to me, it's like, that was perfect because I don't yell. I don't like raising my voice. It hurts my throat.
You yell sometimes, but it's funny.
Yeah, when I yell, it's only comedy. It's not serious yelling. When I'm yelling serious, I'm going to be playing basketball. That's the only time I yell serious. Other than that, I ain't yelling. Also, you want to say something?
I was going to say, don't withhold your speech from your partner. Withholding speech is abusive. It's manipulative. You are just trying to get a rise out of somebody.
It's controlling.
It is controlling. There is no good that's going to come out of you saying, I'm not talking to you. Instead, if now's not a good time, if you know you can't communicate in love right now, say, I need like 15 minutes. I need an hour. I'm going to tell you what's going on, but I need some time. Say that.
Yeah, that's legitimate.
That's legitimate. There's a way to honor what you're feeling and still honor your partner and not be manipulative and abusive.
Yeah, because manipulation is abusive. I don't know where y'all learn these things, that these things are okay. They're not okay.
Y'all.
Yes, y'all. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them.
We've dealt with this already.
Yeah.
And when I say already, I mean this is kind of an ongoing. I think last week I stood at our kitchen sink and literally stared at the water running in the sink, y'all. I have an anger problem. I do. And any of you who know me, you know I go 0 to 100 real quick.
I know her.
Melly, you were on the trains with me.
Well, she don't say names.
I'm going to say names this time. I was ready to throw hands with any big man who even look at me cross-eyed. And y'all know I'm 4'0", right? Anger problem. But
Fact.
I recognize that there's no point to that here. There's none. There's none. That just destroys. It's like taking a hammer to your own house.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Unless you're building it up, don't take no hammer to your house.
If you're not building it up, you're breaking it down.
Yeah.
And that's, if you're not putting in the work to build it up, why are you even in this?
Yeah.
You're breaking it down. Step out of it.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Move on.
Wasting people's time. You're wasting people's time. Time is precious.
Time is precious.
Sure.
Blaming. Ooh, this is a good one. One thing that I learned, thanks Prep for Prep, when we would have our big community meetings, our aspects of leadership classes, good name, was to speak from the I perspective. And it was something that I ended up having to do with my kids when I was teaching too. We would have this big circle, and everyone could only speak when it was their turn. But it was about speaking about your own feelings. We said last week, your perspective is not the truth.
Yeah.
It's just not.
It's not.
We say this with 3 sides to every story.
Yeah.
Your side, their side,
And the truth.
somewhere in the middle. So there's no point in blaming, right? People, it's not really going to get you anywhere. But being able to say,
I don't even know what people expect when they blame people. You expect people to just be like, oh yeah, that's right. That was me. People ain't just going to eat blame.
but even if they do, I don't know that I feel good about a partnership where I can just blame you and you take it. That doesn't feel strong to me. Now maybe this is my own personal.
Absolutely. That personal.
I mean, but that's realistic for me. Somebody who is just like, yeah, dump on me. That's fine. That's okay. That feels crazy to me.
Yeah. There's a lot of martyrs out there, though. They will take that and take that and take that until they can't take it anymore, and then
Then they're going to break.
they break down.
And you've now broken the person that you love.
And they're going to blame you. You see how that works?
What goes around comes around. I mean, now I could walk in the house and be like, you ain't do the dishes. You ain't have the kids ready. you didn't do. What's the point? All that's
in the
gonna.
house like that. That's first of all. Must be crazy walking in my house talking to me like that.
I mean, the point is that's not gonna get us anywhere. You're gonna be so much less inclined to be gracious back to me.
Now I'm ready to fight.
Now we're gonna fight. That's my exact point. It takes a spark to create a fight.
Yeah.
Okay? People don't just fight out of nowhere. You have to trigger someone to fight.
Yeah.
And so, do you just want to be that spark?
No point.
Or can you be the fire extinguisher? What role do you play in your relationship?
Yeah. Be loving. Always. That's helpful.
Love will always be a fire extinguisher for fighting. Hopefully it'll spark some other stuff.
Yeah. It's a different kind of spark.
Different kind of spark.
Big facts.
But truly, some of these conversations, all of these conversations, really take you being honest and vulnerable in a way that I think a lot of us aren't accustomed to being necessarily, especially if you grew up in kind of a hard knocks neighborhood. Vulnerability isn't safe.
No.
Right? That's
Get out of here with that.
Yeah, it's not safe. And then how do you take that mentality and say, okay, but my home is a safe space. Yeah. And if my home is a safe space, I have to learn to do something different.
Yeah. Especially if your home wasn't a safe space growing up. You have no baseline.
And you may need an objective third party, a therapist or whatever.
Helps.
To help you get there. And that is perfectly fine and viable. Y'all, I've had a therapist since I was like 14 years old.
Yep.
It's helpful sometimes. But I'll also say,
I mean, there's sometimes where you just need to, if you with somebody you love, y'all gonna have to learn to talk to each other for real.
Facts.
Like real, not even, I can't even say like, just real, in-depth, working out some things that y'all disagree about without it coming to an actual fight. There's no point in fighting about things that, I never forget what Irk told us early in our marriage. He was like,
we were sitting on his couch.
Word. He said, like, I hear what y'all saying, but is it worth your relationship? And that joint hit so hard because it's like you fighting over these things that it seems big at the moment, but is it worth your whole relationship? Absolutely not. This thing is so unimportant compared to the future, the dreams, the love, and all that the relationship entails. It's like, this fight is not worth it. It's not even, I don't even want to talk about this anymore when you put it in that perspective.
Well, first y'all have to share dreams and a future. You have to understand what those shared dreams and goals and future is.
I mean, if you're in a relationship and you ain't talking about none of that, what kind of relationship you in?
Well, that's a different podcast.
Am I judging people?
A little bit. This is a judgment-free zone, baby.
I wasn't trying to judge people. I was asking questions. That was a question mark at the end.
I mean, I will say that when I heard that, being somebody who comes from a family that just spews sometimes, right? Like sometimes we just say what we want to say.
I go from a simple
y'all know that you just say what's on your mind. You say it. You know. Look, I was at a social distancing funeral for my grandmother who passed away a few weeks ago. Literally in a Zoom meeting full of 67 people, somebody said, "You're getting fat." Right? People just say what's on their mind in my family. It did happen. And sometimes it's endearing.
Like, who is she talking to?
I didn't know who she was talking to.
It's just a broad statement for the whole Zoom.
I didn't know who we were talking to. I don't even know who said it. I just heard it.
Man.
But my point is, coming from a place where you just say what's on your mind and people eat that, and then recognizing that sometimes you're really hurting people in a way that you can't take back. It's irreparable. And then hearing, is it worth your relationship? For me, what it caused me to do was hold a lot of issues, right? And I think you run it from one end of the spectrum to the other, right? The real answer is, how do I share this in love?
Yeah.
Right? Is what I'm feeling, is what I'm seeing a symptom of something deeper that I'm feeling on a more regular basis? Yeah. If I'm just pissed off today and, the shoe is out of place, eat that, right? You could go to sleep with that. That's fine. Go breathe, pray it out, whatever you need to do. But if this is...
You can also do something like, oh, I saw your shoes over there. I picked them up for you.
That feels passive aggressive today.
It's not.
If you
didn't mean it to be passive aggressive, I don't see it as passive aggressive.
Or just move them.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Now, if you find yourself moving them every day, it's time to have a conversation, because this is something that's going to bother you every single day.
Or you can just come up with alternatives.
You could, but the point is that if there's something that's bothering you on a regular basis, you need to talk about it, right? Yeah. The point is not to fight about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't repress it, though.
Don't repress it, but don't fight about it. Communicate about it. Yeah. Babe, this may be a holdover from my own personal childhood. This is how I grew up. But this thing, I don't have a good logical reason for it, but this thing really, really bothers me.
And you can also ask, like, why is it that you do that? Make the person think about what they're doing.
Why do you leave them there? Is that something from your childhood? And do we need to find a middle ground to fix this thing?
Yeah. I mean, understand that somebody is definitely going to give you more of the ability to have grace for that person. So the more you ask questions and understand why people do certain things, you're not just going to be quick to fly off the handle and be like, this is pissing me off. I don't know why this is what happened. You're not going to be like that if you understand somebody is that way because of how they grew up or something. So it may be some trauma that they had in their life that makes them do some things that they do. And you don't know until you ask.
They may not even know.
Yeah.
But when you communicate, y'all open up to each other. When you communicate in love, you create this safe space where it's safe to be vulnerable. Somebody believes that you truly love them and care about them and want to understand them more deeply. Mm-hmm. When you get to that point, then you're able to actually be vulnerable with each other and share things and uncover things together and create a different existence than whatever caused your trauma or your pain or whatever that is, right? But when we create these walls and we hold ourselves off, a part of ourselves off from somebody, you're not gonna build nothing strong. Mm-hmm. You can't build a strong building like that.
No.
Or a strong team.
No. You over here building some separate house of secrets that only you know about.
That's your house and you're going to live in it alone.
Yeah, that's where you're going to stay until you knock the walls down.
Create an open concept.
Better get into the main house. Stop playing with the outhouse. I just got him today, man.
You did. And again, sometimes you need a counselor for that. Sometimes you need an objective third party. Sometimes you need a pastor. Sometimes you need a friend. Right? Sometimes you need somebody to help you engage in this.
Everybody needs therapy. Everybody. You, whoever's next to you, whoever you talk to regularly, your parents, your children, y'all all need therapists.
Mom, T said you need a therapist. Dad, T said you need a therapist.
I said it. I say it again. Y'all need therapists. Everybody.
Everybody could benefit from
I have therapy tomorrow at 1 o'clock, by the way.
Everyone can benefit. Good job, babe. I didn't realize you booked it. Everyone can benefit from an objective third party, for sure. Because it really helps you hold up a mirror to yourself and helps you grow. Mm-hmm. And I heard somebody say, God, I'm latching onto this thing, but I don't even remember where I heard it. But best is the enemy of better. So when you feel like you're just in this space where I'm doing the best I can, that's a lie. You're lying to me. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to your partner. No one is ever at their best. You can always be better. And if you're not being better for the people who love you, what's the point?
Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you doing? You're not growing.
You're not.
You are a stumpy plant that needs plant food.
You ain't growing. You're shrinking, really.
You're shrinking. That's true. Whatever is not constantly growing is going to atrophy and eventually decay.
You don't want to die like that. Keep growing.
Keep growing. So, thanks for being with us this week, y'all.
Why are we ready to end the podcast?
That was it.
We got everything?
We got everything, baby.
I don't know if we got everything.
We did.
You sure?
I promise.
I want to call some more people out.
Why are you always doing this?
Because it's fun this way. See what they're doing. Serge, did you watch this one? I hope you watch it.
All right.
Who else?
Baby.
Who else got to call out?
No one.
Bug. I ain't hear you say nothing about my podcast yet. I'm waiting. Who else ain't said nothing?
I don't know. You made me uncomfortable though.
Oh, you uncomfortable?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to
like
make you uncomfortable. All right. We can end it then. I can't think of nothing else to talk about.
Thanks for joining us this week, y'all. Until next time, let us know what you want to talk about, what you want to hear about.
We usually have a question for them at the end, though.
We do.
What's the question?
So tell us how you... I think what we established is there is no fighting fair. There is communicating in love. So tell us either how you can do something differently to communicate better in love, or what you're already doing to practice that in your relationships.
I like that question.
Until next time.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. Stay safe.
1, 2. Check me out right here, yo. Need to turn the track up a little bit for me. All up in my ears. The mic is loud, but the music ain't loud. Yeah. Now the mic is low now. Turn the mic up a little bit. My this shit's all the way up. Yeah. The music is loud.